Hey everybody, this is one of my favorite game day makeup tutorials. This is a pretty fierce look, I'm gonna warn you right now. This is the game day tutorial inspired by Florida State. The colors are gold and maroon. Could we have gotten a better look for fall? I mean, and that was kind of what I was thinking about here. So really, this is inspired by sports, really in colors only, because I made this a very, what I feel is glamorous look. Feel free to break the rules with me on this one. I mean, I went dramatic on the eyes, dramatic on the lips, threw out the shimmery bronzers and went with, well, I didn't actually throw them out, guys, you know. I just didn't use them this time around, and I went with a pretty matte face look for this. So really some big changes here. I will take you through step by step how to get this look, so keep watching. Step one with this game day look, I'm taking my MAC paint pot in Rubenesque, which gives you, it looks kind of like a peachy gold color, gives a really nice golden glow, and put a generous amount of this all over the eye. I'm taking this NYX Trio, and the shade is Golden, Rust, and Walnut Bronze. That's the name of each of these three shades, actually. So with Golden, first, I'm just going to use the sponge tip applicator that comes with this palette, get in the gold shade, and basically start dabbing that all over the inner half of the eyelid here. All over the lid, and also kind of up above and into that crease area too. Also get some of that gold around the inner corner and just kind of take it down a little bit below the inner part of the eye. These are kind of small sponge tip applicators, so they're really good for getting in these small places if you don't have a small detail brush. Then we're going to go to the center shade, which is Rust, which is really, really pretty. It's kind of like MAC's Cranberry. So I'm going to use another side of the sponge tip, and we're going to cover the other half of our lid. So it really helps to look down into a mirror if you're not used to doing a lot of shadow work on your lids, because it exposes that whole area so you can really see what you're doing. So I'm getting that all over that half, and then like I did with the other shade, it doesn't have to be perfect at this point because it is going to be blended out, but you can see I'm taking it up higher and out like that, just a little bit. Next, I'm taking my Smashbox number 15 brush. It's just kind of a fat crease brush, going in with a little more rust, and this time we're really going to concentrate on not just laying a lot of product down, but blending it out. I'm kind of like going to try to overlap a little bit with the gold, but not too much. We don't want a total blend of the two colors. We still want them to be separate, so this is sort of the look we're going for. Clean off your brush and then go back to the gold and top that side off just to maintain its brightness. Next, I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush. This is my e.l.f. shadow brush, and I'm using this shade from Wet n Wild called Brulee, and it is a matte, just creamy, not total white, kind of an off-white shade. And I'm going to pick up some of that shade and get it all up right under the eyelid. So really, the only shimmery aspects of this look are the true game day colors, which are gold and maroon. So it's really keeping the focus on that portion of the eye look. Next, using a small smudge type brush, this is my number 33 from Smashbox, I'm going into the Rust shade again. Again, that's that reddish shade in the center of this palette. And I'm kind of just blending the red down and under the outer part here. Under the eye. We're going to go in with a black shade, and this step I kind of just did by accident on the other eye, but I really liked how it turned out. It's like this kind of angle, like this sort of triangular slice coming right in there on that corner of the eye. So it's really not too hard to do. What I'm first going to do is just get some black in that area with a typical crease type brush, and then, which is kind of what I did at first, and then I noticed that the shape was taking on kind of this triangular look, and I just defined it more with a shadow brush. So I'll take you through that real quick. Using MAC's Carbon, just a true black shade, matte, because we want to have a little contrast with all the shimmer we've got going on. Remember, the only shimmery shades in this look, and really on the entire face, are the gold and the maroon that create the eye look. So we're not going all the way in, don't go more than halfway in, and just start building a little bit of that black right here in the crease. Just kind of like you're making a straight line right here. Okay? And then pull that line down just a little bit like you're going to touch the corner of your eye. Okay, so I'm just going down like that. Next up, I would advise you to use an angle liner brush. Going back to the matte carbon, really get a lot of that product on the brush. And now what we're going to do is go to the crease right here, lay the product down, draw a line. Do the same thing on the lower part. It's like you're cutting across a portion of your lid right there, okay? And we want it, basically you want the black to be pretty concentrated throughout, but most dark definitely in the areas that are right up here towards the top of that triangle. Next up, because we don't want a big harsh angle, you can see that this is pretty blended toward the top of that. So take some Rust, the reddish shade, on your brush and just overlap that part a little bit. You're going to get not only more red, but you're going to get the black blended a bit. Then take that same brush. This is again my kind of medium-sized crease brush from Smashbox. Taking it just slightly under, like I said, keeping that a little more blended there. Next we're going to do some liner, and I'm going to be using a really soft liner for this look. It's going to be used on both the inner rim and the upper lash line. And it's the Pencil Perfect from L'Oreal, one of the softest, creamiest liners, but it is something you want to make sure you top off with a powder. So we will definitely be doing that, but not on the waterline here. I'm just going to line the waterline and just gently pull down, and you'll see this comes off with a really rich black color. Go all the way in and all the way out. We're not doing any sort of wing or anything on the upper lash line. Just get it really close to the lash line, just your natural lash line. So I just kind of started in the middle here for some odd reason, but going right there to the corner and get it all the way to the inner corner as well. Keep it as thin and as close to your lash line as possible. And then we smudge. Okay, so it wasn't a lot of major smudging, but we just softened it a bit. Bring back matte carbon, bringing back the angle liner brush, and just top off that liner with the powder shadow there. And again with the matte carbon on the liner brush, we're going to go this is going to be the only liner we put on the natural lash line. So basically think about smudging this in between your lashes, and it's going to be a nice kind of almost a little bit smoky look there because we went from dark waterline now to a little bit of a smudged out lash line. Now looking back on your shadow, if there's anywhere you want to buff out more, feel free to just take a fluffy bare brush and go over that. Another way to kind of clean up your look, I mean, you can obviously take like a damp Q-tip and kind of run it across here for the straighter line, but what I just did, I took like a light pressed powder, like my Maybelline Mineral Power, which has a lovely crack in it there, concealer brush, and I just kind of went over it right under it, and you just kind of get that nice cleaned up line there. Next I'm going to curl my lashes, apply the Voluminous Carbon Black on the upper lashes and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom, and I'll join you with the finished look. Alright guys, here is the finished look. I hope you enjoy this game day inspired makeup tutorial. It's inspired by Florida State. The colors are maroon and gold, and so I really had a fun time playing with those shades on the eyes with the thought that, you know, this could be a fun fall eye look as well. What's interesting is that the only shimmery products I'm wearing are actually the two Game Day colors, which are gold and maroon on my eyes, and the face is really matte, and so are the lips. Actually, I struggled a lot finding a lip shade that was deep but didn't have hints of like a purplish undertone or like a berry look to them. So what I ended up doing actually is I used some Vaseline, and so I got some of that on my lips, and then I just kind of went in with my finger and used Rust out of this palette. So I really made sure I got the tone that sort of went along with the tone of the eye, and it really kept the whole look kind of cohesive in that way. As far as my face makeup, I will list all this this under Daily Booth, but just to give you an idea, it's all matte. I use no shimmer really at all. There may be a hint of shimmer in the blush, but overall a very matte look. I used the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse as my foundation. I used a matte powder on top of that. I did do a fairly heavy contour here, but again, go to my Daily Booth page for all that additional info on the face stuff. And thank you so much for watching and for voting on these game day tutorials. I'm always impressed with how many people vote and are interested and excited and looking forward to the next look to come. So don't forget, beautybroadcast.net is where you vote. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.